Hi guys, so welcome to MJ Apparel tutorial, and in today's tutorial I'll be showing you how to draft a basic corset with yoke. It is so simple to make and it is very beginner friendly. If you are new to this channel, please don't forget to click on the subscribe button so you get notified whenever we post a new tutorial, and also don't forget to like, share and also drop a comment. So the first thing I'll go ahead to do is to draft my basic bodies. First, you start by drawing the straight horizontal line which will serve as your shoulder line. Next, you insert your vertical measurement, which is the shoulder to the bust point, shoulder to the under bust, and shoulder to your half length. After doing that, you draw a straight horizontal line and label. I have a detailed video on how to draft a basic bodies. If you don't know how to draft a basic bodies, or if you don't understand what I'm doing here, I'll be dropping the link to that video in the description box so you can go ahead to check it out. Next, insert the shoulder measurement on the shoulder line. The shoulder measurement I'll be working with is 15 divided by 2 is 7.5. I'll mark the 7.5 at this point. I'll also come down here to mark the same 7.5, so I'll be able to connect using a straight line. Next, come down by 1 inch for the shoulder slope. Then from the 1 inch point, you come down by your armhole measurement. I'm using 8 for that. Next, you connect the 2 points together using a straight line. After that, you go ahead to draw a straight horizontal line like this and label it as the chest line. The next thing to do is to insert the shoulder slope, and in doing that, the first thing to do is to insert your neck width. I'll be using a neck width of 3.5. After that, connect to the 1 inch mark you have using a straight line like this. Next, insert your bust measurement on the chest line. The bust measurement I'm working with is 36 divided by 4 is 9 inch. I'm going to be marking it at this point. After doing that, the next thing to do is to draw the front armhole. And in doing that, the first thing to do is to divide your armhole by 2. Here I have 8 divided by 2, which is 4. Next, you go in by 0.5 inch. After doing that, you connect the points together using your ruler like you see me doing in the video. After drawing the armhole, the next thing to do is to take out your dart, and in doing that, first you divide your nipple to nipple measurement by 2 and insert it on the bust line and also on the waistline. The nipple to nipple measurement I'm working with is 7.5 divided by 2 is 3.75, and I'm going to be marking it at this point, after which I'll draw a straight horizontal line. The next thing to do is to take out the waist dart. I'm going to be marking a waist dart of 0.5 inch on both sides, but if you are on the bigger side, you can go ahead to mark 0.75 or 1 inch. Next, come down by 1 inch from the bust point line, then you connect to the waistline using your ruler like you see me doing in the video. After drawing out the waist dart, next thing to do is to divide what you have on your shoulder by 2. So here I have 4 inch divided by 2 is 2 inch. I'm going to be marking the 2 inch point. Next, you connect to your bust point line using a straight line. Please ignore this line we have here. I was not supposed to draw the line to this point. So the next thing I'm going to go ahead to do is to mark 0.5 inch on both sides like this. I'm going to be marking 0.5 inch at this point. If you're on the big side, you can go ahead to mark 0.75 inch. After marking the 0.5 inch, I'll connect to the waistline using my ruler like this. Then next, you connect to the bust point line using your curve ruler like you see me doing. So you place the curve this way and connect from the bust point to the under bust using the curve part of your ruler like you see me doing. So the next thing we're going to go ahead to do is to measure what you have between the bust point and the under bust. So here I have 3.5 inch. The next thing I'll go ahead to do is to measure that 3.5 inch all the way around, placing my tape on my bust point. I'll measure it all the way around. The reason why I'm doing it this way is to have an idea of what the cup size is going to look like. It's not really compulsory to do this, but I preferred making it this way so that I'll know what the cup is going to look like. After marking those points, the next thing to do is to measure what you have on this dart leg here. So whatever you have here, you transfer it to above the bust point. That is where the circle we drew stopped. So here I have 1.75. I'm going to be marking 0.75 on this part and 1 inch on this part. You're marking where the circle you drew stop. After doing that, I'll connect to the bust point using a straight line like you see me doing. So the next thing I'm going to do is to tighten the over bust for more fitting at that point, and in doing that you're going to be marking 0.25 inch on both sides like this. After marking, you connect to your bust point using your curve ruler like you see me doing. So the next thing to do is to determine how deep you want the yoke to be, and in doing that you can decide to maintain the chest line or you go up or come down depending on how you want the yoke to be. But for me, I'm going to be coming down by 0.5 inch. Next, I'll be going in by 0.5 inch like you see me doing. So the distance between the two cups is going to be 1 inch when it is open. So I'll draw the small line like you see me doing. Next, I'll connect this point to over the bust using my curve ruler like this. So please take note, we are no longer using this line on the inside. This line is no longer relevant. We are going to be connecting it to the outer dart leg. So I'm going to be placing my curved ruler this way and I'll connect to the 0.5 inch we came in by. After connecting this point, I'll also place my curved ruler and connect it to the underbust like you see me doing. So this is what the cup is going to look like. We are done with the first cup of the corset. Now we are going to go over to drafting the second cup of the corset we are making. And in doing that, the first thing to do is to measure what you have on your armhole this way, from this point to this point. So whatever you have, you divide it by 2. After dividing it by 2, you come down by 0.5 inch from the point you divided. Then you draw a straight line like you see me doing. After drawing a straight line, the next thing is to draw your curve from this dart leg down to the 0.5 inch you came down by. So you place your curve ruler this way and you connect. After connecting this point, we are going to go over to connect this point to the underbust using your curve ruler this way. So this is what the other part of the cup is going to look like. As you can see, it's looking beautiful. So here we have the yoke of the corset we are making. So the next thing we are going to go ahead to do is to draw the neckline. You can draw whatever neckline you want. So for me, I'm going to be drawing a simple round neck with a neck depth of 3.5 inch. After drawing the neckline, the next thing to do is to blend this part together using your hand like you see me doing. So this is what you are going to be having at this point. Next, you label this part 1 and here we have number 2. After that, you also go ahead to blend this part of the corset to eliminate any sharp edge that might be there. I'll also be drawing this sign here to indicate the part that I'll be joining together, so I will not get confused when it comes to joining the corset together. So basically, this is all there is to the front of the corset. So next thing I'm going to go ahead to do is to insert the bust measurement. So the bust measurement I'm working with is 36 divided by 4, which is 9 inch. I'll measure what I have on this part and replace it on the other part like you see me doing here. I'll also go over to the waist and insert quarter of the waist measurement, which is 8 inch. I'll also measure what I have on this dart leg here and replace it on the other side of the corset. After doing that, I'll connect the bust to the waist using a straight line. So this is what the corset is going to be. So the next thing you are going to go over to do is to draft the back of the corset before coming back to cut this part of the corset. And in doing that, the first thing I'll go ahead to do is to extend my chest line, my shoulder line, my bust point line, and the waist line. After extending the line together, I'm going to be marking out my zipper allowance of 1.5 inch like you see me doing. I'll mark and draw a straight line. The next thing I'm going to go ahead to do is to insert the shoulder measurement on the shoulder line. My shoulder is 15 divided by 2, which is 7.5. Next, I'll come down by 1 inch and draw the armhole depth for the blouse. So basically, we are repeating what we did on the front again. That is why it is so fast. So the next thing I'm going to go ahead to do is to Insert the neck width and draw the shoulder slope like you see me doing. After doing that, I'm going to go ahead to mark out my nipple to nipple measurement for the waist dart. I'll mark on the chest line and on the waist. Next, I'll connect using a straight line. Then I'll mark a dart of 0.5 inch on both sides, after which I'll connect to the bust point line like you see me doing. Next, I'm going to insert my bust measurement, which is 36 divided by 2, which is 9, and also my waist measurement, which is 8, plus this dart intake we took here, 1, and I'll connect the points together using a straight line. After doing that, I'll go ahead to draw the armhole for the back of the corset. So next is to draw the neckline. I'm going to be making a V neckline for the back, so I'll be maintaining the chest line. I'll connect to the chest line like this using a straight line. So basically this is what the back is going to look like. And the next thing to do is, if you are not adding a zipper to your corset, you want a loop, you will eliminate the zipper allowance we have and you minus 1 or 1.5 inch depending on how open you want the back to be to the back of the corset. So next thing I'm going to go ahead to do is to cut the corset. So I'll be cutting the front of the corset first, so just watch the way I'm cutting it so you don't make a mistake when cutting yours. After cutting, this is what the front of the corset should look like. Next, we'll go over to cut the back of the corset. So this is what the back would look like after cutting. If you don't want to sew in the dart, you can go ahead and cut it out like you see me doing. Then you close it up using the masking tape before cutting on your fabric. And also, if you want it to have a yoke, you can go ahead to cut through the chest line and the upper part is going to serve as the yoke. So if this video was helpful to you, please don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and also drop a comment. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in my next tutorial.